stay home. He wanted her not to go to work. So at the end, she left him and another guy. So you think she made the right decision
What
by
about
walking
her?
out? Oh, she used to love
Does
him as
does she
well.
love him?
She used to love him. They were in love. They were
Yeah.
actually in love, but he was being violent and to leave him. So, do you think she should have, stayed? She should have patience with him, or do you think it was the right decision for her to leave the marriage and get a divorce?
You will never know fully someone um, before marrying them. You'll never know like fully. So we don't know what will happen in the marriage. So if things become more harder, then maybe divorce might be the only option. But
Yeah, my thought on the topic is first marriage is one of the solution for a disagreement. Like it was presented as one of the solution, not on the bad side of marriage. So humans, we're born with our own wills that if in relationship, the relationship we make that actually develop to be on marriage, then if there are certain things that doesn't make us to continue that kind of path, then divorce will be advisable as a solution. So in my opinion, when divorce will be a wrong is when we didn't do our best to maintain the relationship. But um, when like in Mehdi and Zeynep kind of story, if it becomes very harmful to other person's life, if it makes other person to feel like a hell, then I could support. But before that, I should know the story behind it. Like in movie, this is the good thing that you can actually see what actually lead to for divorce. But in reality, in human, like in the society, mm, divorce is not just, it's not a very easy decision for one person can actually make of abandoning others person, leaving others person's love. But sometimes this love can actually turn into hate. So living with someone that you hate is very horrible thing, and I'm not advising or supporting this idea. But instead of doing that, if you want to correct it, like using therapy or a relationship advice from a
Yeah.
specialist, is like marriage counsel, then that can actually save it. But if it doesn't work, then it's one
Yes.
of the
Yes.
solution that you don't have to live your life ahead because of someone that you used to
Yeah.
love. So
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
take on that.
I'm fully agree with Mikey because divorce is a final decision. It is a final option. There are a lot of options in their hands, as as she said before, Maki. She she tried she tried best. She if she go to a marriage consultant, or if she make a relationship isn't healthy, you can you can you can make a you can make a good relationship with Mehdi. But if she is beyond our control, beyond her control, the, the divorce is the final option, because there are a lot of options, as I mentioned before. So I already mentioned here to divorce. Zainab has not made a good decision because she didn't take any action before she divorced. So there are a lot of options, as I mentioned before. She go to marriage consultant, or she tried to uh, convince him as much as she can. So if she try there are a lot of options. uh, she made a good decision, but I don't think she's not right this option, I think. So final divorce, it is a final option in my opinion.
I already saw the movie. Then I can speak based on there are different characters that she hasn't aware of. Some of the truths are very hide from her before making her decision. But also there was a moment that she could not handle it. He became very toxic. She no longer can tolerate his jealousy and the way the factor that his sisters can actually put up on the marriage, put it on the screen that it's very hard for them to pull off their relationship and to maintain their relationship. I already saw the like how much family can actually play a great role on someone's relationship. So at the end, what she the decisions she make is a contribution of different factors. There may be a turning point on some level that if she could actually understand the truth. But yeah, the story has been written on the way that she feel very distant from him at the end, that she just decided to divorce him. After that, even after that, he was very obsessed with her. So I can understand the story. But if this happened in real life, if it happened to me, then I think I may take the same turn. She feared for her life. So yeah, I agree with her.
Yeah, it is so complicated, before just go to the final decision. It is better to talk about their problem, like what we call it, talk with the table, because um if they love each other, it is not like a big issue to just make a solution for their problems, because of jealousy, because of overprotective, like because of her, I mean his sister, or a kind of stuff. This is a very small stuff, they can just prove it, they can just make like an agreement about it, because if they get married, they can live in a detached house, like in their home, because in a relationship it is not good to have a third person. Yeah, the involvement of another person may happen, may just cause a kind of terrible. So I cannot even decide to make a divorce. uh, I am not just supporting their divorce, so it is better if they stay together and solve their problem. Yeah, this is my idea, because they have to see the consequence of that divorce. After she get divorced from that man, there is a lot of consequence. Maybe they may have a children or a kind of something. Uh, so it is so different. She might be not happy after she get divorced from that marriage, if she already fall in love with that guy. So it is better they can solve their problem, like talking in a deep. Uh, yeah, that's my idea.
As you said, he is not a good behavior before getting the married, right?
He was a good person after before married. Like he acted a good person. Then through time, his behavior come out.
He
That
acts
he's not
not
a psychopath. Like I don't want
yeah,
to take it
so
as a
through
psychopath.
time,
A person very reached
yeah, yeah, understand. Through time, he changed his behavior because
become
of what?
obsessive. Yeah,
Because of, sorry.
because he thinks that. I want you to remind you that most of murderers who actually kill their wife or a girlfriend say that because they kill them because they love them. So that's a big explanation, like I told you. Violence is not loving. Many people do. That he thinks that he prevented his wife from going to the work and lock her up. He thinks that he loves her. He thinks that he did that for her own sake. What kind of mentality do
Yeah,
you think this kind of guy has? Very
yeah,
dangerous. So I do not
yeah,
appreciate this kind of actually it's not even arguable topic. the guy is violent, he should not be near to that person, and she has a right.
So
She's a human being. He doesn't
yeah,
own
so
her. So if that actually happened, no one should tolerate. Violence is violence.
yeah, violence is violence. Yeah, I fully agree with you. But is naturally his bad behavior. He had a bad behavior. So yeah, I'm just recommended that divorce is best solution for toxic behavior.
So do you believe that getting divorced is a solution? Is there a
Yes,
better
of
option?
course.
Mhm.
Actually, depending on the root cause, you can just take that as a best option, because why could they live like maybe 40 or 50 or 20 years without having any happiness if his behavior is not changed, if he is the guy who never changed his mind all the time, if he's violent, there is no love. If there is no love,
Mhm.
I cannot even consider that marriage as a good relationship, so they have to stop over that.
I don't believe that violence should be, you know, like one of the characteristics of a husband. A husband should not be violent. He has to be very humble. He has to be very loving, and I don't know. He has to listen to her first. If violence is there, there is no mean that a marriage could exist. Okay, violence is really the. I don't think it's a good thing to be in between them. Be it a girl or be it a woman or a man, violence should not be there. Anger should not be there. There could be, but it should be managed the right way.
Okay. Let me say something. You said that she used to love him, so that makes me confused. Just make it clear for me.
No, they were in love, they were married, but he was violent. Like he used to
Yeah.
Okay,
shower her and
what it
one.
matter? What it matter
Mm.
is, does she still loves him? What
Um,
I'm trying to say is that, how much she loves him right now. Is she real? Is she really loves him?
no, we're not talking about right now because right now this guy is dead.
They are already
So
divorced. Oh,
no, he's dead. So she can't do anything about it because he's not alive
Okay.
anymore. Asking you to tell me a yes or no answer. Do you think she made the right decision by asking him to divorce her, or should she have stayed with him until he changes?
Mm, I always believe by reason, so half yes and half no.
Thank you for the chance. I don't really think about divorce is the right decision for any marriage. I'm against divorce at any cost because you should have a time to process every issue you have before you got married. Is he violence? Is he a nice person? Is he a good person for me? This kind of question should be asked before the marriage, and after the marriage, that is some foundation. You gotta, it's the foundation of you starting a family. So you gotta be careful what you are marrying to or getting to before you're making a decision of a lifetime. Marriage for me is a lifetime decision, so I don't recommend a divorce at any cost. uh, if I make myself clear, it's an acceptance of every aspect of a person. If you are marrying into someone, you should accept the bad or the good or the sickness, the illness, or every package of the person. So when you got into marriage, you gotta know what's the bad part of that person and the good part of that person before you get into marriage. That is the reason that I am against divorce, because uh, that is why, I guess.
Just about. Okay, let's hear from Faisal. Faisal, can you hear me? Or can you hear us?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you, but violence, I think. He's violent. Yeah, he was violent. They are love each other. They will love each other, but uh, uh, Zainab, when before he died, when just she expressed their love and their interest for him, and if they agree each other, or if they continue, or for the relationship for each other can continue. But I'm really against the divorce. uh, first first thing is that they have to do is just they take time to get married, in order, because it is in order to maintain their relationship, or what we call it, and it is healthy relationship, right? So what I recommend, it is just uh, they are love each other, they will love each other. So if she didn't tell him, or if she didn't what
No, unfortunately, he's disconnected. So, do you guys have something to add on Faisal's thoughts?
they can continue their relationship with in healthy, by by exchanging love, by everything. So I think Zainab doesn't decide to divorce him. This is my recommendation. So they do not divorce each other, because love is from not only from one sided, from only two sided. So they exchange their love, their everything. So I don't think it's the best.
I pick, I can say that she made a good decision because I'm the person who loves his freedom, and I believe that freedom deserved for everyone. So she chose her freedom. Freedom is more than anything. So I think she made a good decision.
Thank you very much for that, Binyam. Okay, so now back to Amanuel and Faisal. You guys are against divorce, but if the same thing happened to your sister, would you want her to stay in the marriage, or would you advise her to leave her husband?
In
Who
my
are you
opinion,
asking?
yeah, Faisal. Now I'm talking Faisal.
Okay, Faisal?
Yeah, can I continue?
Of course.
Sure.
Okay. In my opinion, as I told you earlier, I'm against the divorce. But if I were a Zainab, uh, because he loved her too much, and also she loves him too much. So why not you divorce them each other? Because they love each other. So she has not made a good decision.
So
If my sisters in if my sisters made this decision, I really disappointed by her, because as I mentioned before, I'm really against with in a divorce. So if love each other, so why not you continue? So I'm against her decision.
Okay, I will come back to you. Now let's hear from Amanuel.
What was your question again?
Okay, so you have I think you have sisters, more than one. So, but you also say that Zainab made the wrong decision by divorcing. I'm trying to remember his name by divorcing Mehdi, and so let's imagine that your sister was in Zainab's position. She was in Zainab's
Yeah.
shoe. So, if that was your sister, would you have said the same thing?
The person involvement plus marriage. So I will not be involved in my sister's marriage problem, but the the case of the argument or the violence of not I'm not supporting the violence, but there is a way of expressing feelings, aggression, something boys do and the girls don't. Like we boys or being men is hard for us to control our aggression because we have to uh, express it by like it can be violent sometimes. I'm not a violent person, but as a man, I can feel the aggression that I have to pull out through violence sometimes, not on girls purposely, but not because she's weak, but the girls expressing aggression is not violence. That is the cause of the argument, maybe because violence is always coming out from the main part. So uh, men express aggression with violence because that's what we taught, or that's not we supposed to do. I know, but sometimes we cannot control this violence. But the girls cannot do the violence against us because that would be not a fair fight. So she can make something. The way she express her aggression is through some manipulations, some kinds of gossips, or generally speaking, ማለት ነው, gossips. There is ways that she can express it that could lead a man to violence. The disagreement happened between girls and boys. That could be the main part of the. I'm losing track, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I'm trying to say is the way we express our feelings
I
are
just wanted
different.
to
So
say.
uh, let's let's see our dating life before we get into marriage. So that person is violence for me, or that he is not violence. Every man has an emotion to express through some like aggression.